We're away. Hi, Steve, talking about recovery in a spiritual sense rather than the therapeutic sense. Trying to make that distinction with people, for people. A lot of our recovery, working spiritual principles has been lost to, therapeutic techniques or lending itself to having a certain type of understanding that's special, that for you allows you to work on yourself. When really, when it comes to spirituality, it's not about that. It's about letting go of method, technique, and having some special understanding in the mind. Basically, what it boils down to is developing awareness. Not you developing awareness, but you as awareness, waking up as awareness, distinguishing that from the form that arises out of it. So I've already spoken about the first stage of spirituality, which is coming to see the actual dynamic of separation, how from a body sensation, the thought can arise out of that and suddenly self-contract the body. We call this self-will direction, and from that self-contraction, we can then misuse the instinct that is in the body. I know this sounds a bit difficult, but as I go on and do more of these talks, you'll come to understand what I mean. A lot of people that work in the 12-step principles, this type of spirituality, is the very first stage. The very first step is that we come to see that unmanageability is the cause and condition of alcoholism, really. So it's centered in the mind. Alcoholism is centered in the mind, just as any other type of avoidance, any type of addiction. So coming back to the body, we come to see in stage 2, awareness is what's transcendent, not the reaction to it on the mind. And in step 3, we come to see that awareness itself is the root experience of whatever is in the body. Also, the pattern that goes into the mind to claim it, we begin to see that there's nothing you can do about that. You just have to accept it. You just have to not identify with it. You just have to remain as awareness and allow then for that pattern to go through dissolution. What's happening here is the third stage of spirituality, or in the 12 steps, the third step, which is turning it over. Turning it over is something, God, I could go on for ages about this, because when I first came about, all those years ago in the mid-90s, I didn't understand what turning it over meant. What does it mean? What is my will? What is my life? But we come to see that will in life is what we see in stage 1 spirituality. It's the body sensation and how it manifests as self, as a personhood. But awareness is not personhood. So and we come to see that awareness can be the root experience, can be what truly experience can be given to you as awareness on a deeper level, intuitive level, rather than getting caught up in these thoughts and emotions about yourself, which is self-obsession. So step 3, spirituality, is allowing awareness to be the root source of anything that is going on, but seeing that awareness itself is the experience. Interesting, isn't it? So when you turn it over, you're turning it over from the mental perspective of self-contracting, which is suffering, or turn it over to awareness, just witnessing and seeing, and that's it. That's step 1, 2, and 3. I've now discussed that very briefly, of course, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it again and again and again in a way that you begin to really understand it from a spiritual perspective, not a therapeutic perspective. Therapeutic is all right, it has its place, but ultimately the spiritual principles belong to awareness, not to a growing understanding that we keep in the mind, and from the mind continuing to do a doership. That leads to spiritual materialism. You don't want that. And if you're already in that, it's fine. I was in that until eventually I realized, actually, it's about spirituality. It's not about me doing it. Okay, enjoy. Have a good day.